Bingo Blitz rules.
If your bingo has ads in it,
That's not a bingo.
if it doesn't have the coolest tournaments, mini games, and the most breathtaking design,
Nope, not a bingo.
if your bingo moment makes you feel so excited that you just want to burst in joy and scream out loud, bingo! Sorry, so you're playing...
Bingo Blitz? Now that's a bingo. Go for a world of excitement with Bingo Blitz, the #1 free bingo game. Download Bingo Blitz and play for free.
Now that's a bingo.
With something like 5 million podcasts, finding a really good one can take a ton of time. So let me recommend one. It's called Something You Should Know. I'm the host, Mike Carruthers, and in each episode, we discuss topics that can be really helpful, like how to read people better, the psychology of crowds, or fun things like the story of Legos, or why you probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for horses. Something You Should Know is the name of it, wherever you get your podcasts.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
And let's talk about what lesbians about.
Let's hang out.
And let's listen to two lesbians shout.
Let's hang out.
Let's hang out.
Hey everyone, welcome back to Let's Hang Out, the podcast where, oh, this is awkward. I only have one rose left to give out.
Please, pick me, Leigh.
I'll make some choices by the end of the episode and let you know. From the West Coast, I'm Leigh Holmes Foster.
And from the East Coast, I'm Ellie Brigida. To those of you who've been with us through this whole journey, thank you as always for listening. If you're a new listener, welcome. We're excited to have you here. Here's what's happening this week.
This week in the Lesdom.
This week in the Lesson is a place where we can touch base each episode about things going on with the podcast or otherwise. As you know, we have bonus Patreon episodes going up every month for our patrons. Our last one was on a New York Christmas wedding. It was a wild time. We had a blast. If you want to listen to that, you can join at bit.ly/lespatreon.
We also want to remind you that we are still selling spots for our trip to Costa Rica in May. If you want to go, we need to fill 5 more spots actually to confirm the trip. So if you've been dragging your feet, you just got that, end of year bonus or some Christmas cash burning a hole in your pocket, now is a great time to decide to join us from May 1st to May 6th in a beautiful national park in Costa Rica. You can buy your tickets at bit.ly/Let's Costa Rica.
In the greater Les universe, The Color Purple, the new movie, just opened on Christmas, and it is gay. I know people have different opinions on it. I'm curious to see it, but
I haven't seen it yet, but it opened on Christmas, right?
Yeah, it is. It just came out.
Yeah.
So definitely going to go see it. We love to see some queer women, especially Taraji P. Henson. Give me that all day. I'm sure it's going to be great. But
speaking of other gay Christmas things, I did finally watch Friends and Family Christmas, which is this year's queer Hallmark movie. And listen, if you want to know what this experience was like for Kelsey, it was just me sitting excitedly like a little gremlin on our couch, just going, fake dating. I love fake dating. Fake dating never doesn't work. It's always good. It's always good. It's always great. It always works. So if you are like me and you're just, little trash panda for fake dating tropes, I'm going to suggest you check out Friends and Family Christmas. It's super cute. I liked it a lot.
We love a gay Christmas movie.
We love a gay Christmas movie. No, it's good. It was really, honestly, it was really sweet. I think it's on, if you have Peacock, it's streaming on Peacock. Otherwise, it's been airing a ton on Hallmark. I just set our DVR to record it, so. And just to keep the gay Christmas train rolling, I think we got our first taste of Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor that he's going to be on Doctor Who. I think he's the 15th Doctor. So they had the Christmas special, obviously, as Doctor Who always does. I'm a little behind. Kelsey and I are literally in the middle of a rewatch right now.
I've literally never seen one episode of Doctor Who. I have
Ellie.
I couldn't even tell you what the show's about.
We'll
could
talk
not
after
tell
this.
you.
Don't worry.
So sorry.
So I'll educate her listeners. It's fine. So Ncuti Gatwa was going to play the Doctor, and what I've what I've heard, because I haven't watched the special yet, but just from what I've seen in terms of like the promos for Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor and some of the stuff that I hear happened in the special and stuff like that and what's coming up in the season, he's going to be leaning hard into the sort of gender fluid queerness that the Doctor really should always have had, even more so than I hear they did with the 14th Doctor, Jodie's Doctor. So I'm just excited to, see where that's gonna take us.
Maybe this is
because
time.
we love to see it.
It's time for me to get into Doctor Who.
I saw a bunch of like Doctor Who, the angry fanboy coalition who lost their mind at like one of the teaser clips of the upcoming season, and it's Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor, and he's in a kilt and a tank top, and he's dancing in a club like the little gay boy that he is, and they were mad. They were mad about it, and I'm like,
if they're mad, I'll be glad. So
yes,
let's
exactly. I think it's headed in a good direction. I love it.
Here for it. Well, that's what's happening this week. Back to you, Ellie and Leigh.
Thanks, Ellie and Leigh. We are so excited to bring you episode 10 of season 7, 90 Day Fianc-Gay.
Beautiful.
I love that. And we are joined by a very special guest today. We have Cara Connors, who is a stand-up comedian that you might know from Dating No Filter on Hulu. She has a new album that just came out called Straight for Pay, and she's just a nice gal, I hear.
Hey, Cara, welcome.
Hey, it's me. I'm just a regular old nice gal.
I love that.
Also, Di, what do you mean straight for pay? When have you ever what does that mean?
Oh my God. Well, trigger warning. I was iconically straight married accidentally and then got gay divorced. So that is kind of what my story is. I'm sure we've all been there, accidentally marrying a straight man when we were 24 who looks like an accountant.
Yeah, just relatable.
It's just like you just trip into it sometimes,
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of like the name of like a weekly show I have out here in LA, and also like my album and everything. And I have mainly queer comedians, but I'll usually have like a token straight comedian on every week. It's just like a play on words. It's meant to upset people, like porn search terms.
I'm upset.
Kind of like subversive, throwing it back in their faces a little bit. But yeah.
I only have one question, which is how good is the pay?
That's what I mean. Well, it's kind of like, or like, what's your number? Like, how much would it take for you to like, but it's basically like, how much would you need to be paid to like get dick down? How much would you need to be paid to have a boyfriend?
A lot.
Yeah. And that's...
especially if we have to call it getting dick down, the number goes up. There's actually, a surcharge to like, call it that.
Making sweet, sweet love. Like maybe I could wrap my head around it,
It has to be upsetting. It has to be...
Oh, God.
It has to be
that is very upsetting.
Yeah. So that's kind of
like
the question.
By a straight dude.
100%.
Yes, that number's high.
Yeah.
Number's high.
Yeah.
I feel like, okay, I'm ready to get into this.
We're already doing a great job keeping ourselves on track. Go us.
There's no track. We don't need a track.
No.
So I think it would take me like not an excessive amount to just like beard up with another gay man. Like, does that count?
No.
Okay.
Fully
no, you have to get dicked down, Ellie. Did you not listen?
Okay,
the term is very clear.
Okay, here's the thing. How often do I need to allow this man to penetrate me?
Just once?
One time.
Only one time?
But it depends. I mean, it depends on the circumstances. Like straight for pay could be like you pretending to be, like a straight guy's like wedding date and you have to let him kiss you or like talk to his mom for a while. I mean, there are different, shades within this, but in general, I feel like, kind of going back to like the original like porn search term, it's sort of meant to be, when they have people that are gay for pay, right? So
sure,
for doing, like for filming something. So it does not have to be filmed. That's not my version of it.
Gay
Listen, I could be a fun, sexless wedding date. I'd be great with your mom. That's all.
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
But yeah, to me, I think primarily, we need to focus on the original question, which would be the price to be, and you could pick who it is.
They can be an
Ooh,
attractive
yeah,
man.
there you go.
Of course.
If it's an attractive man, and I will also qualify this, that I have never been dicked down in my life.
Then you maybe
Never. So
you should ask for you should make the number
I
higher
feel
than you
like
think
it should
then.
be a pretty high number. Yeah. Give me like 5 million.
Yeah.
Go for gold, Ellie. Go for gold.
Right.
So if you're out there right now, I'm just kidding. I'm like, the price has been set.
Seriously.
Jana's downstairs cooking you a
my
steak and
girlfriend
you're
cooking
selling
me
your
a
body
steak.
off. You're selling
Okay,
your
but
body
here's the thing.
to the
I think-
highest bidder. Look at this.
It's a
I
thought
think
exercise.
If
It's a thought
I got
exercise.
$5 million, we get $5 million.
100%.
Yeah. I'm doing this for us.
Like,
Really.
Yeah.
this is for
The way to
us and
think
our
about it.
future, okay?
Right. Yeah.
Leigh, what's your number?
I mean, this feels like a real bad thought experiment when
Yeah.
you're like married
love
with
it.
children.
It is. It's not meant to be easy.
How much
Yeah.
how much can I sell Kelsey on for this is for us?
Oh God.
I think 5 million is good to get.
She'd probably let me do
sell.
it for 5 million, I think, honestly. It's not a bad number. You
Right?
can do a lot.
You could do
Yeah.
a lot with 5 million.
You could do a lot with 5. Yeah, right? Like
Could buy one house.
Oh.
God damn it. See, this is why I would know. I'm just kidding. I know.
I better be a $5 million steak, Jana.
The thing
She has no clue.
The thing to like think about though too with that is like you guys are thinking like in a really like nice earnest direction of like what would the amount be that I could justify it to my partner, but like your partner realistically might be like $14,000, like pay off my student loan debt. You know what I mean? Like
Exactly.
it doesn't
Like
actually
you don't know. Yeah,
they'd
like
be like
see,
you won't take one
here's
for
the
the team.
problem. Here's
Exactly.
the problem. We already paid down my student loans, 1.
Mm.
And 2, I don't know that there's a number high enough that Kelsey would take that offer.
Whoa.
So I gotta aim high. I gotta
okay,
go
that's
high.
fair. That's
I
fair.
feel like 5 million's probably a good.
that's a safe bet. 'cause
ballpark,
it's the
right?
same one as yeah.
It's personal and there's no wrong answer.
Well, what is your answer?
my answer depends on the goddamn day. I mean, look, it depends on a lot of different things. I know that I can get through it. I mean, I was quite
You've done
literally, I've done
Yeah.
it. I've been with plenty of bros. I could get through it. And let's be honest, it wouldn't be that long. It would be the quickest, easiest money that I've ever made. Now, as I'm talking about it, I'm like, why am I not doing it? Like, why? This is stupid.
Why
I'm
is this
also
hypothetical?
really enjoying picturing like all of our bisexual listeners just being like a nice dinner, honestly.
I
Like, that's
know.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
It's a lot easier. It's a lot easier. Yeah. It's like that's why I
Ellie
had to
comes out swinging with 5 million to just
Right.
be like, and I
Well,
am
that's
a
why I had
lesbian.
to
Here we
qualify
are.
it of like, yes, if I was bisexual, then my number would be very different because I'd be like,
Of
okay,
course.
fine. But
Of course.
it is highly unappealing to me.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
it's definitely more, it is, I think, a more fun question to ask people that are kind of on one of the extreme ends of the spectrum, like asking a gay man that finds the thought of being with a woman so disgusting.
Yeah.
That's funnier to me, at least.
I also love it only because, and you probably don't know this, Cara, but Ellie and I just recorded an episode on cheating like a couple of weeks ago.
Okay.
And so I just feel like it's funny to come from like both of us having very strong principled views on cheating to be like,
Right.
for 5 million, any random dude can dick me down.
yeah. But it's not any random dude. Like
Jana will be okay with it.
Yeah.
you're in total control. It's like all above board, you know.
It's all about communication. That's what, like,
yeah.
Sure.
like
sure.
as long as you're honest that you're about to do this thing.
That's exactly right. But yeah,
All right.
it's you know,
I
it's
love
to
it.
get you
I love
thinking. You know, it's
Yeah.
kind of like those teacher questions at the top of class.
Exactly. It's a good
Now-
icebreaker. Let's
Yeah.
just get to know each other, you know?
Right.
Here's what's gonna be my I'm gonna whip out this segue. You're welcome.
Whip it out.
So speaking of things like ridiculous things that people will do for money,
Yes.
we're here today to talk, obviously, with that intro
Right.
about reality TV, right?
That's right.
I feel like this was a perfect transition.
100%.
Yes. So you had said to us you wanted to talk about basically all the gays on TLC, right?
Yeah. Yes.
All encompassing.
Well, the thing is that, when I was like, emailing about like, and they were asking me about like different topics and stuff, I said, I don't know if this is too niche, but I was like trying to think of a topic that I uniquely know a lot about that maybe has not been really covered. And I'm sure that there are many people who you have interviewed in the queer universe who are far more well-versed in, music or a million other topics. But I specifically have spent countless hours of my life consuming 90 Day Fiancé, Sister Wives, and the list goes on. So I asked would it be too niche if I requested to talk about queer people on the TLC network?
There is
There's
no
nothing
too niche.
Nothing
No.
too niche.
Okay, good.
I love when people pitch us the thing. Like those things that go around. They used to go around on like Twitter or whatever, where it's like if you had to give an unprompted TED Talk or like an unprepared TED Talk, like if someone just handed you a mic, like what could you go up on a stage and like talk passionately about for like 45 to 50 minutes? When people pitch us those things in their lives, it's always
gold.
It's like my favorite. It's like my
gold.
favorite.
Yeah. So I'm glad you guys are down.
So how much you've seen every single episode of 90 Day Fiancé, would you say?
I would say that I have seen, with the exception of the very current, like the most current seasons, I have seen every episode probably 3 or 4 times. Some seasons I've watched over and over and over.
So it's just like your comfort show.
It's a sickness. I'm not well. I find comfort in watching certain shows, over and over. And I mean, specifically during the beginning of the pandemic, was like a true rabbit hole occurred. And then it's great because every season has, like it can have like 30 episodes or 15 episodes. They're all, half the episodes are an hour and a half long. And that's really ideal for me. And everybody is so wild and out of pocket and a character. And I love making fun of them. And that's really it. And
so do you believe that somebody can truly be, like anyone on that show could truly be in love? Do you believe that?
Yes, I do think that there are some people who are truly in love, but with the caveat, I would say the large majority of the people on the show are dysfunctional. And I don't think that being in love, I mean, like plenty of them are convinced that they're in love. And like, what does that even, we could unpack that. It's like, what does that even mean? What's the qualifier? I do think most of the people on the show are genuinely in love and in really unhealthy, toxic relationships, which is why it's so great for TV. And then there are also a ton of like kind of catfishing, people taking advantage of the whole like visa process side of it. But primarily it's honestly just like every relationship, just 2 damaged people rubbing up against each other and making it worse.
Love it. It sounds I have because I have watched some 90 Day Fiancé. Like, Leigh, have you watched 90 Day Fiancé ever?
I have never watched an episode.
What?
Of this
That
show.
is crazy.
I know.
Wait, but
I know.
Okay, wait, Cara. I feel like because Leigh has never seen an episode of 90 Day Fiancé, you should explain. I'm sure you know what 90 Day Fiancé is, Leigh, but I just
yeah.
need
Oh yeah. I know the premise.
I need.
I've just never watched it.
Cara, explain to you 90 Day
Okay,
Fiancé.
please.
Okay, so like, oh God. I mean, it's, aside from being pure 24/7 entertainment and in my opinion, the best TV show on right now ever created, certainly the entire 90 Day universe. I mean, it's all encompassing. It really does have something for everyone. But basically every season is following, like maybe 5 to 8 couples. One person is like in America and one person is overseas. And then depending on the franchise, and this is where it gets a little bit complicated, and that's why it's hard to just give a simple answer. But, at this point, there's a lot of different spin-offs and things, but the main version of 90 Day is we basically follow these couples along from the day that the person who lives abroad lands in America, and you get a K1 visa, which is the 90 Day Fiancé visa. And basically it's like, if I had my super hot boyfriend in Ireland and I wanted to bring them here to California, once we're engaged, you know, they already have done all this other paperwork. We have 90 days to get married. If at the end of the 90 days we don't get married, they have to go home. And if we do get married, then they can stay here. And then like there's all these different versions now where like there's before the 90 days. So it kind of covers when they're like just meeting online and talking, or a lot of them haven't even met yet, or they've met like once on a vacation or on a weird matchmaking, like creepy old men all get on a bus and go to Thailand or Russia, and they meet like 19-year-old girls and they're very scary. The men, the 19-year-old girls are not scary. They're just traumatized because they have to deal with these creepy old men. Yeah. And that, so you can kind of like follow it from like when they're just going to meet. Oftentimes the first time that they're meeting, they will get engaged. So there is like a lot of overlap. And then now we have like iconic franchise couples that we're following like in after the 90 days. They have families. There's a bunch of them who have whole shows just about them. My favorite being Darcy and Stacey, not queer, but ultimately queer coded, I would argue. So that's like the most simple answer that I could give, which is truly psychotic.
How many seasons of this have been made so far?
Oh God. I mean, of pure 90 Day, there's probably like upwards of 10, maybe 20 of each one. Like regular 90 Day, before the 90 Day, we're probably on like 8 or 9. After the 90 Day, we also have like 90 Day the other way, where it's, the American is going to live in India, and they're going to say a lot of ignorant stuff and we're going to get to watch. They're going to go to another culture and they're going to comment on the other culture and it's going to be really scary to watch. So there's a lot.
Incredible.
Yeah. You got some work to do.
I do. I really do. I know. It's so funny. It's like I was saying before we started recording that it's like my wife and I are not like huge reality TV show people. I feel like every year there'll be like 1 or 2 shows that we're just like, this is it. This is the show right now, you know?
Right.
And you just get sucked in. It is a disease. It is a problem.
Yeah.
Like, it's so easy.
Yeah.
I feel like the worst I've ever done of like reality in my life of like getting sucked in was when I was in like back in like high school, college age. I never watched like Real World or Road Rules, but I got into the challenge seasons, you know? And it's just like, and then you're just like, you just have to watch every season of it. And then they make another season and you're like, well, I guess I'm watching this too. And then
that's the whole game.
Then you're just like, this is a problem. This is a problem.
This though, 90 Day is not a problem. Like 90 Day is a solution. 90 Day is life. It's love. It's everything. I would argue it's a documentary. I would argue it's docu-reality. It's certainly poetic. It's a rom-com.
Tell us.
It's a horror film sometimes.
It is absolutely a horror film.
Tell us a little bit
mystery.
About what was your descent, your entry into the 90 Day world?
Okay, so
paint us a picture.
So here's the thing. I'll paint you a picture. Let's call it March 18th, 2020. Here we are.
That's my birthday.
Whoa. So you know that was a really special time for everybody. We're 2 days basically before the entire world is going to completely change.
Yeah, it was a really fun birthday that year. I did nothing.
Well, I hope you enjoyed it because basically though, like just to add more context, which even makes it really even more niche and even more gay, is that how I got into 90 Day was a queer person who messaged me on Instagram, and then we started talking, and then they had to take a trip to LA and then came out and we met up and like went on like a date or two, you know, obviously, of course.
Was this a normal like straight person timeline date or like a
no, not at all.
16
no,
hour,
it was, well,
like
it turned into
date,
like a 7-month long date.
Yeah. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So basically it was like, you know, DMing and going back and forth with voice notes and all these different things. Classic. They come out to LA and then literally like a movie, the whole world shut down and then
Sure.
they were stuck here and and they also like, okay, like there's a whole other, I mean, that could be a full other episode, literally just this story, but they also like were like bi-coastal, bisexual, etc. So they also like had a place in LA, but they were in New York working at the time. They came to LA and then they couldn't leave because of everything with COVID and everything shut down and their work shut down, whatever. And so we basically like turned to each other and then it was like, okay, well, I guess we live together now. Classic. Yeah. So we were like, obviously like traumatized, all these things were happening. And then, yeah, they were the one who like introduced me to it. And I had seen like a few episodes and then we started watching and then it's like, that was all that was happening. And so we watched like every single season and like every single episode. And, you know, this was for like several months. And then it kind of got into this thing of like, everybody was feeling depressed. I was like depressed, not like being able to like perform or like do any of the normal comedy stuff. And they were like, you should make some videos like about these 90-day people, because while we were watching, I would just like impersonate all of them. And they're like, you should make some videos like doing this, because that's like kind of the only kind of content or whatever that it was like safe to do. So then I started making like videos where I would just like impersonate, you know, like 20 of them in like 1 minute and all this stuff. And then started posting them on Instagram. And then like those, I don't know, there's a lot of, I am not the only person that feels this way about 90 Day. I'm getting defensive, but I just need to say a lot of people feel really strongly about this show. And it is not
There
just
are
me.
dozens of us.
Yeah, no, there's
Dozens.
like hundreds of that. Like it is a crazy, it is like Bachelor Nation up in here. It is not.
I fully believe you.
Okay, good. Well, you
If
can
it
fact
wasn't,
check
they
me.
wouldn't make so many seasons, right?
You can,
Oh,
like,
God,
you can
yeah.
fact check me
Like,
live.
Yeah. It is perfect television. It's
It
not
is, yeah.
necessarily like the show that I am constantly watching,
Right.
but like I
Yeah.
understand.
Okay, yeah, thank you. But yeah, so I started like posting these videos, and I think because everyone was trapped at home and the show was kind of rising at the same time, like some of those like started doing well. So I made like a ton of videos just like throughout COVID and like was just, yeah. So then that kind of like reinforced it more. And then I was like rewatching so that I could think of different things to make fun of. And then that's how I kind of like got tuned into this whole like kind of stream of like middle America, middle-aged straight women who were like, this girl gets it. And then like they started like following me, and then, you know, a lot of them slowly have kind of dropped off because they're like, wait, I thought you were like 90 Day girl. Like you tricked us. You're just a big dyke.
Oh my god. Okay, but let's talk about the gayness of 90 Day Fiancé.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I'm dying that you basically had like a 90 Day Fiancé kind of situation going on in your
Truly.
own
I love that.
I can't even
while watching
Yes.
90 Day Fiancé. Yes.
I
so-
can't even explain to you how much further it goes than what I just said. Like much like my like little answer to 90 Day, like there are so many layers to that we would like have to do shrooms together so that it could properly, like your third eye would open if I explained to
Honestly-
you how deep down the rabbit hole it got.
Let's put that on the calendar for a later date. That sounds great. but let's talk the gay shit of 90 Day Fiancé, because okay,
Right.
how many gay couples have they had on the show?
Okay, so maybe they've had now. I would say they've probably had like 10 to 15. And let's also be clear how many out gay couples or like how many out gay people. I would say out gay couples or like queer couples. There's probably like maybe, yeah, I think 10 to 15 now. Are there clearly closeted gay people operating in many of these couples? 100%. And that's our right. And
That's all right.
is it not?
It
So-
is.
But yeah, there's probably, I would say like but that's like a newer thing. I think they kind of like experimented, you know, there was like the OG kind of like, I would say bicons, Stephanie and Erika, who was like, if you saw like purple pink hair Aussie girl,
Mhm.
and then Long Island farts in a jar influencer girl. And then they got together. And I think that was kind of TLC testing the waters. Like, do we have a market for this? And the answer is a definitive yes.
Stephanie and Erika were like a train wreck, though, correct?
Correct. Yeah. No, Stephanie, like, I'm absolutely blocked by several of these cast members as well. So,
by Stephanie, because you were making fun of her.
well, I absolutely have made fun of Stephanie several times. I'm not gonna, for legal reasons, know or claim if they actually have blocked me, but I will say at times I know that many of them have viewed, and I have been blocked by several cast members, and that also is their right. But
Yeah.
But like, you're also going on a TV show, so if you expect to and acting like an absolute monster, and if you're expecting people to not troll you during the COVID-19 pandemic, that seems a bit short-sighted. But Stephanie and Erika, I mean, R.I.P.
Give us like a super quick.
Yeah, I mean, I
overview
would
of the
say
story.
like Stephanie was like Long Island, closeted, kind of like bisexual, never really been with any women, but was kind of exploring it. And then Erika was like in Aussie, like had like all of her friends were her ex-girlfriends, and like super small town, like quirky, like I keep doing that because it's like purple pigtails, like whatever, middle part. And then like Stephanie is kind of like, yeah, like she's at that level, and she's just like kind of like whiny and like negative, but she portrayed herself before they met as like, I'm like hot and like filters and like fun, and I like love to go out and like all this shit. And then she gets to Australia, and it's actually like, no, I'm actually like a bummer times 10, and I have no interest in meeting anybody or being fun. Like, arguably she catfished Erika, and then was like, they had like severe intimacy issues, which is like also their right, but like they like couldn't even like hold hands, like nothing was happening. And then also
was this
serious
the
jealousy
first-
issues.
This was the first same-sex
I think
relationship that they
I
had.
think it was. I think it might have been the first like pure actual queer couple. And they did us dirty. And it's not the representation that we wanted, but it is the representation that we do ultimately deserve. Because
It's
it was
so
real.
funny. It's so funny too that would be the first,
Yeah.
like the first queer rep on a show like this, because I'm like, find me lesbians who haven't gotten married in 90 days, honestly.
Yeah,
Like,
well,
what
they couldn't.
How hard
they're-
could this be?
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Like,
that aspect wasn't hard, but yeah, they're doing everybody dirty. That's the entire point. So they're not going to find like nobody on this show that's like normal with, there's no one on the show who has a secure attachment. I'll put it that way. So
Yeah. Well, there's no way that you would if you're like,
no.
I can't date anyone near me. I have to date someone
Yeah.
who lives in a completely other country.
And who's completely unavailable to me in every way and completely incompatible with me in every single way. So yeah, they were the OGs, and like they are forever in my hearts for doing that. And they really did lay the groundwork for many. They opened the doors and they held them open, because now here we are several years later, and we have
with the
a
cold,
plethora.
lifeless body of their relationship.
Yeah, no, it got so
Great.
dark. And the farts in a jar thing is just a reference to the fact that after Stephanie became more like famous or whatever, after being on the show, she literally started, there was like a New York Post article, she started like farting in a jar and selling it to people. And I don't know.
Wait, is she the one? Didn't someone fart in a jar too much and they got sick? Was that her?
No, that wasn't her. Oh wait, actually that could have been her. Sadly, I think that has happened to several people, but yeah,
Because you're not supposed to like force yourself to fart that much. Like,
well, because she was like eating like a bunch of stuff to try to make her do it. I'm like, were there really that many people? I'm calling bullshit. I think it's a hoax. I really don't think that there were that many people that were like, please, mean gay girl from 90 Day, will you fart in a jar for me? And how much are they paying you? Like, what's your
also,
price
like,
for
you
that?
You couldn't find something else. Like, if they want some of your bodily fluids, like you could figure it out.
Yeah, make an OnlyFans. Come on, just
Or,
This
like,
was
what-
pre OnlyFans. I feel like when OnlyFans was not like super at its height.
Yeah. So, I mean, she's still around. I hope she comes back. I hope she finds love if she hasn't. I think it's going to be hard for her to find love while her mom is still living with her, but certainly other couples have overcome that.
Yeah,
show.
I'm just dying at, like, of course, the first one, like, I do feel like
Yeah.
it was so
Train
like,
wreck. Horrible.
This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp. And as we head into Thanksgiving time, I want to start by thanking my wife, Kelsey, who has not only listened to just about every episode of this podcast for 8 seasons now, but who also is the only reason I'm able to make time to record it every week. She takes the kids, gets them dinner, and gets them ready for bed just so that Ellie and I can come on and yell about gay things into each other's faces for an hour. So here's a reminder to send some thanks to the people you're grateful for in your life, including yourself. I've been in therapy for a long time now, and one thing that's so important about therapy is how it teaches you to be more intentional. And being intentional about gratitude and how to show that to the people you appreciate is just one of the many benefits that I've gotten from therapy over the years. If you've been thinking of starting therapy, consider giving BetterHelp a try. I know how hard it can be to find time for regular therapy, and BetterHelp is designed to be flexible and convenient for your schedule. You can fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist, and you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge. If you want to start being more intentional about gratitude in your life, visit betterhelp.com/leshangout today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/leshangout.
Let's hang out.
For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm. For many businesses, the holiday season can be both an exciting and stressful time. With so many balls in the air, one thing you definitely want to know you can rely on is how you're selling your products. And with Shopify, you can rest easy knowing it's the home of the #1 checkout on the planet. Nobody does selling better than Shopify, and when it comes to successful brands like Aloe, Allbirds, or Skims, an often overlooked secret is all the things that go on behind the scenes that make selling, and for shoppers, buying, simple. For millions of businesses, if you take a peek behind that curtain, you'll see that Shopify is what makes it all possible. Shop Pay boosts conversions up to 50%, so that's more happy customers and way more sales going. It's true all the time, but especially this time of year, your commerce platform better be ready to sell wherever your customers are scrolling or strolling, on the web, in your store, in their feed, and everywhere in between. Businesses that sell more sell on Shopify. Upgrade your business and get the same checkout we use for Realm merch with Shopify. Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/realm, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/realm to upgrade your selling today. Shopify.com/realm.
Hey, do you like true crime? Me too. And I know what you're thinking. There's so many true crime pods out there, you've already heard all the stories. Well, what if I were to tell you you're wrong? I'm Leroy Luna, the host of Excuse Me, That's Illegal, the podcast that takes a hardcore look at softcore crime. I've got a back catalog of hundreds of bizarre and hilarious stories just waiting to be heard by you. So come join me. Excuse Me, That's Illegal is available anywhere you get your favorite podcasts, with new episodes dropping on the 10th, 20th, and 30th every month, baby.
And then, okay, so because I did a minimal amount of research for this, where I was like, all right, well, let me at least watch. So I did watch some of those episodes, and I was like, oh my God, this is rough.
So
there's
bad.
like a whole thing where Erika, they're at the party, and like this boy that Erika made out with a few times, like, is like hugging her, and Stephanie's flipping out, and Erika's like, well, you never kiss me. Like,
right.
Like,
I mean,
what the
that's like
that was the whole thing.
Yeah, that's a fair complaint. But also, like, I'm sorry, but this might be like a harsh reality check. But if you're like a queer woman and you expect that you are going to be in a relationship with another queer person, they are going to be hugging an ex or hugging someone they hooked up with. I mean, honey, you're lucky if they're not the officiant at your wedding. Like, that is nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, that is truly nothing. You are going to have to learn to play nice. Like, you may as well be straight if that is something that's going to be off the table for you.
Yeah, it was I agree,
right?
it was insane.
I mean,
it was just like
on.
all her exes just like hanging out doing shots, and this girl was like, can't believe this. And you're like,
yeah. Well, it's also like, you're such a bummer. Like, she had to do something, and there's like 4 people that live in her town, and like, and also that's why you know, there's probably like no gay people in her town, and then they all have hooked up with each other, and so
yeah, and then she's like, all right, I guess I'll date this girl from New Jersey instead.
Yeah. So
Wow.
Also, this girl Erika was 24, so like she really went through people fast.
yeah, damn. No, I mean, but like, also, she was kind of like probably out earlier.
She for sure was, yeah.
You know, I will say, like, this is the only, like, I am 100% team Erika. My only shade would be that I did get a cameo present from this same person that introduced me in 90 Day from Erika on my birthday. And I have to say, she fucking phoned it in. It was like 3 seconds long, and she was acting like she was freaking Beyonce, like couldn't have the time of day. Oh, happy birthday, Cara. All right. And I'm like, I'm going to ask for a refund.
Damn, Erika. What else do you have to do? Just make the video.
Literally, like, god damn. So.
Oh, there's one point where she calls her special friend.
Oh,
I feel like
boy.
that was like, all right, so we're also dealing with closetedness in this situation
that's
as
right.
well, which was
not fully disclosed. But I mean, that was like more, Stephanie was kind of, in my opinion, just like looking for things to be pissed about. So I feel like her eyes like lit up when she realized that Erika did that and like had lied about it, because then she's like, I have something that I can be mad about. Like, not that it was hard for her to find things, but.
What do you think about Kenny and Armando? Because they're like the next gay couple who a lot of people have like are obsessed with.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kenny and Armando are cute. Like, their dynamic is kind of like, Kenny kind of looks like a like lesbian Gordon Ramsay, and then like Armando is like really cute and sweet. And he has like a daughter
right now because it's so accurate.
I did, and it's so.
He has like a
it's
peacock
so
haircut. Like, it's just, he's like super sweet. He has like a really cute, like nice, like supportive family. Like, he moved to Mexico. They're from like the Other Way franchise. And then like Armando, also like very adorable, smart, has like a daughter, has like a tragic backstory. Like, he had a wife, his wife died in a car accident. It's like really sad. There's also like a huge age difference. Like, Kenny is a lot older. I mean, I like them. I think it's brave to be with somebody for a really short period of time and have so many humongous red flags of just like massive incompatibilities that are not gonna it's never gonna work just because of logistics. And I think it's brave to just forge ahead and just dive in and just, you know, make it so that when it does end, it's gonna go down in flames, and you guys are kind of inextricably tied to each other. I think that's beautiful.
You think they're gonna go down? They're still together.
I know, but I'm just saying statistically. I don't hope that.
You're like, I know. I'm just saying.
I know they've
the
been together for like 10 years, but like they're gonna go down.
I think they're great. I think they're great, but I think that it's like, I think that they have a lot of mountains that they have to keep climbing. But I shouldn't say that. I should be positive. I would say if any of them are going to make it, maybe they are the ones with the greatest chance, which is depressing. I'm just saying, like, divorce rates are already like really astronomical, and then you throw on top of that the fact that like you don't have the full support of both families. You like do not really want to agree on like where you should live, if you're going to have kids, money, lifestyle, future decisions. And then you're also on a reality show where everyone is just us like speculating. So surely they have like a Google alert on their name, and then it comes up, and then they're like, oh, wow. And that's a drop in the bucket to what people are saying about them.
Okay, wait. I'm curious. So as someone who watches a show
right
like this as your comfort show, I want to dive a little deeper into your views on marriage that we just touched on just now. So walk us through that a little bit.
My views on marriage?
When you take two people who they've been married for 2 years.
Okay, only 2 years.
It's not hard to get married. It's
time.
not hard to like, I don't consider that an accomplishment. I don't consider that like, I think that when you're on the other side of it, and like when you are like not with somebody and you are specifically like wishing that you had like that kind of love and connection, I think it feels like the be all end all. And then I feel like when you're around a lot of people where it's like, that's their, especially straight culture, like that's their day, and I'm a pretty princess and you have to do whatever the fuck I say for 2 years and you're going to bankrupt yourself. Like, I think that it feels like this thing that you like have to get to or something. But I think that my view on marriage is the large majority of people that are getting married are doing it in a short-sighted and way and for the wrong reasons. That's just one person's opinion.
And you don't think the contestants on 90
They're
Day
not
Fiancé are doing it for the right reason?
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Not a contest.
Yes, they are.
But what would you consider them? Cast members?
Yeah, I would consider them subjects. I would consider them cast members.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, they are
lab rats. You know,
they don't win anything, right? They don't win.
No, they lose. They are playing to lose.
They're playing at a casino, basically, where the people who are consuming them for their own enjoyment
the
are
house
winning.
always wins, and the house in this
100%
case
is
TLC.
No, I mean, I think the house is TLC. I think the house is like the institution of marriage the way that it is right now. I am cynical about a lot of aspects of it, but I'm not completely cynical. But I think the large majority of people are doing it for the wrong reasons. They're like, I mean, like myself included too. It's like, we're like unhealed. We have our own shit. We're bringing all of our garbage and baggage and trauma and all this stuff to every relationship that we're in. And so that's why so many people are like, that's why people like get married, because they're just like, that means that I'm accepted. Like, that means that my family will be happy. That means that I'll feel more secure. That means that like people will think this, or I'll think this of myself. Or people get married for the dumbest, shittiest, worst reasons most of the time. And then there's like a small subset of people that I think are like soul connections, romance connections. I think there are people who are like really committed and have their head on straight and like really want to like make it work and do make it work. But I think those people are largely the exception. And I think shit happens. And it's like, I mean, I literally didn't even know I was a lesbian. And then when I got married, I was like, I'm in it for the long haul. I am like gonna do this. There was no part of me that had any clue. And so I think like having gone through that experience, especially, I'm like, yeah, shit happens. Like, people can wake up and it's like scary. And that's, I think, also why people get married, because they want that security. But the truth is, people can wake up at any day and any time and be like, I'm not feeling this, or like, I'm this, or I'm that, or whatever. The list goes on.
I love having this be your comfort show is watching people race, like trip each other in their haste to get to an altar together with that mentality. I love that.
The thing is like, ultimately I consider myself a psychologist, and clinically speaking, it's a case study.
It is the most intense case study. But I do feel like it tracks, like, somebody who's cynical of marriage would much prefer 90 Day Fiancé to The Bachelor.
Yeah, no, because
Right?
it's more real. Yeah, it's more real, and people are more delusional, and all the stuff that people are saying with like, yeah, the Bachelor can suck my dick. I'm not interested. I think it's boring as hell. I think I don't need to see a bunch of people with like horrible, weird, like spray tans and brow jobs fighting over like a bag of garbage prize. There's been like 2 bachelors and bachelorettes that I'm like have intrigued me for like upwards of 10 seconds. So yeah, but
what do you think about
real.
the Golden Bachelor?
That is like has changed things. And the thing is like I like to have really strong opinions, but I will drop them immediately if, I can be swayed, certainly, but I will go hard for them. But the Golden Bachelor is the only thing that feels real.
I've just been watching the Golden Bachelor. I'm not a Bachelor fan. Like, I do not watch The Bachelor, and I decided to watch the Golden Bachelor, and it is warming my. I already have.
It's
a pretty
pure
warm
now,
heart,
though.
but it's
Right.
so like that's the thing. Like season
They're gonna
1,
ruin
if
it.
they keep doing it, it will get fucked up.
They're gonna ruin it, and they're gonna try to figure out like, how to just keep doing it. But I mean, 90 Day, most people honestly do think that they're in love though, and they do really like, but they are just so delusional that they don't even see it coming. And that, I think, for me, is where a lot of the fun lies.
You're like, I just like watching them crash and burn, and they don't even see it coming. It's amazing.
Yeah. But that's
I
on
love
you,
it.
bro. Like, these are all consenting adults, and like, they're all the ones that are coming out here. And like, I love nothing more than a person who's like, and this is what it is, and da 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 da. And then like, it's like, boom, like, oh shit. And then they can't even handle like how the person drinks water. It's like, bitch, what did you think was going to happen?
Has that actually happened?
All the time.
Is that a real thing?
I don't know if it's that specifically, but that it's that level of
Yeah.
dumb, minute things that people are losing it
Because
over.
they've never met each other. Like
Because
it's
they've
also,
never been with a person. Half the cast seems like they've never been outside before. It seems like it was their first day. Their first day here on planet Earth. And they signed an agreement to sign away their life rights.
TLC is actually working in close conjunction with Area 51, and they just, they get them right on that show real
That's
quick.
right.
Yes.
That's exactly right.
It's the best way to make them contributing members of society.
Get them on a reality show.
100%. What else is Big Ed gonna do for us? What is he contributing?
So Big Ed, that's the one
Mhm.
whose fiance came out as bisexual after, right?
Well, so
Or he outed her.
Big Ed outed Rose, like who was like the first person that he was with, and now currently he's also with a bisexual woman. He tends to go for, in my opinion, unsolicited. He tends to go for like bisexual women who definitely are on the side of would much rather be with a woman. And if they didn't feel that way before they were with Big Ed, they're definitely going to feel that way.
They know.
Yeah.
We stand an
So-
unintentional ally to the queer community.
100%.
No.
Yeah, making women gayer,
but you
I call
don't
that
wanna
an ally,
stand him.
Ellie. I don't know what you call it.
Yeah. No, he though is like, oh my God, he's so problematic and so gross. But I mean, like, he's definitely like, Rose was like, Rose was cool, but the person he's with now is definitely equally as toxic. I think they've broken up like 40 something times. Like right now they're on like 90 Day Fiancé Last Resort, which is like the couples therapy, like vacation island season, which is so amazing. And they're like, yeah, well, when Liz and I broke up for the 55th time, I really thought that it was it. And it's like, what are you guys doing? Like, leave your families alone. Like, come on. So
there
it's
are
great TV.
there's legacy 90 Day Fiancé characters,
Yeah.
right?
Oh,
like Big Ed is the
yeah.
legacy. Like that's like
100%. Yeah, there's like Angela. I mean, these are not queer people, but I'd be surprised if Angela hasn't like at least gone down on a girl. I don't think she's gay though. But yeah.
gay for pay.
Yeah, exactly. But I'd be surprised. Or she like, let's just say this. Angela likes to party. Okay.
Who else on 90 Day Fiancé has been gay? That's like slightly interesting.
Okay, so my current they're all interesting to me, obviously, but my current faves are, there's kind of like the new like Stephanie and Erika 2.0, which is like Statler and Dempsey. And
what a name.
I think that there's really enough to unpack. I don't even think I need to say more. Statler and Dempsey. Statler is like that's definitely not her name. But that's like her name that she's like going by for the show. And she's like from Texas and like is so socially awkward, which is fine. I mean, relatable, but she like wants so badly to be like a hey mama fuckboy and like kind of has this like weird arrogance, but like I personally I can't see how anyone has ever really fucked her. So it's confusing. And then Dempsey is like actually kind of chill and is like in the UK and kind of like farmer vibes.
I must see this.
Yeah, and then somehow, you know, got like fooled by Statler, and yeah, it's not going well. And obviously Statler is like so codependent. And for me to call someone codependent is really like seek help at that point. So she's like went there with the intention of moving in, but Dempsey didn't even know that was kind of the plan.
Did they?
God.
So this is a couple
How
that
did they
got
meet?
married. They got married.
I don't think that they got. I can't see that they would have gotten married. I don't think so. No, I think they met online. I mean, they all lie. Everybody on the show is a liar, and they all lie about how they met. I mean, half of them are like, oh, I met Edward on this karaoke app where you can go on and sing with anybody from all over the world. And it's like, no, you
But
didn't.
also, can
And
we
then
get
like,
that app? Because
yeah, but it's not, but it's a lie. Or, I mean, the worst is when they say like, it's always like the scariest man you've ever seen. And he has like not been out in the sun in a decade. And he's just like, I've always had an interest in Japanese culture. And you're like, oh, brother, here we go. And then they somehow made their settings only, you know, for like 18 and 19-year-old girls. But they had a real connection. And that is really what counts. But yeah, they all lie about how they met.
Those ones are the like craziest.
It's so
but
crazy.
I find the ones that are the funniest in a way are like, there was one, I can't remember what their names are, but it's like an older woman with a younger man.
Oh, there's a lot of those.
It was like such a it was so different because you were like, I can laugh more at this one because I don't feel so like uncomfortable, but it's still pretty messed up.
Yeah. I mean,
and they always live in a trailer.
Yes, the woman always lives in a trailer and like tried to get her kid into pageants. And then like the guy is always a rapper and always lives a minimum of like a 28-hour flight away. And it's usually like, Mark sent me a friend request on Facebook and we just started chatting. And I'm like, when has anyone ever done that?
Exactly.
Except for the people on this show.
Yeah. Catfish is on MTV, right? That's not TLC, but it's
no,
like
that
there's
is
a lot
MTV.
of
Yeah.
There's like a lot of catfish scenarios, I feel like.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's like overt ones where like there's some that are like really sad. I don't know. There's some classic ones where it'll be like the woman is in Russia, the guy is here, and he's like a nightmare, so you don't really feel bad. But like they'll use like a translator app or something to talk. But there was one where like the girl would only talk to him through her like matchmaking website service translator and like refused to talk to him in any other like platform. And that is because he had to pay every time he sent an email, every time he wanted to open a message, every time he sent a thing. So like it's a scam because these girls can be there and talk to these desperate guys and like convince them. I mean, I could be a ghostwriter and sit and convince an incel in Arkansas that we're in love and make rent every month. You know, it's not a bad gig. And the majority of them are not going to be able to like get a flight or like actually come. And then they're like all dumb enough that they're like, oh, can we video chat? My phone is broken for 9 years. Like
it's in the shop. They said they'd fix it.
It's dark.
I love it.
Well, Okay,
It's
wait,
really
wait.
dark.
I have a question though, because I know you touched on it. You touched on it a little bit before, but I'm curious, like, because it's something that Ellie and I have talked about in other episodes as well. Is like there's this weird double-edged thing to having queer rep on shows like this, right? Where you're like, we deserve terrible rep, like we deserve dumb gay catfishing morons, right? Just the same way
Right.
everyone else does. But then
Representation matters.
representation
It really does.
matters. But then
Mhm.
at the same time, sometimes when you get it, you're like, was this a good idea to have this exist in the world? So like,
Right.
where do you land? Because it's not like there's a ton of, for a show that has
Mhm.
as many seasons, as many episodes as they've
Right.
had, and there's not a ton of gay couples on this. Where do
Yeah.
you land in terms of, do you want more queer people on 90 Day Fiancé?
Mhm.
Do you wish the queer people that they'd hadn't been on the show? Like, where?
I think that nobody on the show, at least, is really being like forced to be on the show. I think it's quite voluntary. And in terms of like the representation, is it always great? No. But also, I mean, like, we are dealing with like, there is a level of like, there are people who watch that show who are like, have never even like seen a trans person in real life, or like even like had any context that these are like we are three-dimensional people who have like full complicated lives. And so I feel like if somebody is like already like homophobic or gonna hate gay people anyway, they already are, number one, gay, and number two, they're gonna do that anyway. And so I think like if somebody is gonna be able to see it with more nuance, like I think it is better to just actually be included, because otherwise we're just like kind of like everything else just kind of erased from it and like pretending.
You don't think
like we
Stephanie and
don't
Erika were
exist.
opening hearts and minds with their tepid love story?
I think that they certainly may have, because also like the majority of people are like that. So everybody is crazy. And so probably they're like, wow, like that's like me, or like, oh,
Gays
am
are
I
crazy
actually
too.
the girl?
Yeah, yeah.
I also fart
Yeah,
in
and
jars.
so-
I feel so seen.
Yeah. But I would rather have them there than not have them there. And like, I mean, I don't know the exact split. Obviously, like there's still more straight people in the world, I guess, at this point, hypothetically. But yeah, I'd
Yeah,
rather have
by
them there.
demographic,
Never
I
met
think the
them.
breakdown is it changes a little by
Yeah.
age.
It's definitely like changing. But yeah, I mean, like just for the idea of like, hey, look, grandpa, look at the like just to get people
Grandpa's
like a little
big
bit
90 Day
like,
Fiancé
come
fan.
on.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah, because they're probably like, I could get a girl like that. Like they're not seeing it the same as us. You know what I mean? Like that,
They
like
literally
you're coming
wanna be
at.
on
They're
it,
taking
Yeah,
notes.
like,
Grandpa's got a
you-
notepad out.
There's people. It's aspirational.
It's like, sorry, what was the
100%.
website they
what,
met on?
Lisa? Okay, what? What do you say? What do you call
That's
it?
what I'm saying. But like, you guys are joking, but it's like there's 30 seasons that you could have watched, and you're like, yeah, let me sign. That tells you what kind of people are like going
Yep.
for this.
Yep.
So.
You also wanted to talk about Sister Wives, so I'm curious
Okay.
what you want to talk about there.
Well, I'm just saying that is another kind of like rich breeding ground for like, I mean, Sister Wives itself, the entire show is absolutely queerer than you can even imagine. And as the seasons have unfolded, I mean, that's just following one family. I don't even want to minimize it. Not just one family. It's the Browns. I mean, it's everything. So I mean, I think a minimum of one of the wives is a lesbian. I think that with time, we're going to find out that upwards of all of them are
Have
gay.
any of them officially come out or no?
No.
You're just speculating.
No, I'm speculating. Yes. And for legal reasons, it's good to explicitly state that I am speculating. However,
Even though I'm
comma,
happy to speculate with you,
Yeah.
but I'm just curious.
Well, there are factually, there are children that they have created who are queer and
Yep.
trans and non-binary. So that's one thing. Most of those kids are still really young. So more are going to be coming down the pipe. And then also we all know that in order to make a gay baby, at least one gay person has to be present
there.
in that process. So who is it?
It's just science.
It's just how it works.
That is science. And that's not something that I think is like really up for debate. But Mary, one of the wives, Mary was famously catfished during maybe like season 3 or 4 by a woman. And here's the thing. No matter what way you slice it, Mary comes out as gay because she is claiming she didn't know that it was a woman that she was talking to the whole time. Okay, let's say we believe that story. You might not have known you were talking to a woman, but you liked talking to a woman. You sure enjoyed those interactions. You couldn't get a goddamn enough.
So wait, so she was catfished by a woman pretending to be a guy? Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
And then
but she was in love with this.
But she was 100%
person.
like in love with them. But then, you know, I think once it all came down, I mean, ultimately to me, it read as like once she was caught, it was like, oh my God, like I came out of a slipper or something. And it's like, and I think she was embarrassed. Like, number one, I don't even believe. I think that could have been a storyline that was crafted after the fact, that then they made it up that she was catfished and all this shit, and that thought it was a guy to try to like protect the reputation of the family or the kids, because obviously what could be worse than one of the moms being gay? I mean, I can't even imagine.
So I don't really watch Sister Wives, but what's the deal with them? They all sleep in the same bed?
No. Oh my God, no. No. But yeah, no, like when the show started, they were like kind of like extreme polygamist, like Mormons, and they were all living in sort of like a mega house where like they all kind of had different like floors or quarters. And then they did it as like Cody, the really ugly husband, would go around and rotate every night and be with a different woman. But all the houses were kind of connected. But then they were kind of like pushed out of Utah. They moved to Vegas, awkwardly enough. And then they like lived on a cul-de-sac. But they like raise all their kids together. They consider themselves, well, not anymore. Spoiler alert, almost none of them are still together, but they like raise all their kids together. Like the kids consider all the moms, like all the wives, like their moms, like they're all like half siblings, and like, you know, they've become like more blended and stuff over the years, but they don't all sleep in the bed. And all of the women, they all like are all married to Cody, and they are all spiritually married to each other.
So
and
it's
what
gay
could be
already.
more gay than that? They literally have.
Sus, ladies.
How are you
A
saying you're
sus.
not gay? You have 3 wives. You're a woman
your
with 3
ratio
wives, and
of
you're telling me you're not
husbands
gay.
to wives
Is
pretty
real
gay.
off. Yeah, it's real gay.
I don't think that we have to like analyze that. Like that's
It's
just
pretty
an objective
obvious.
fact.
Yeah, it's pretty
So,
obvious.
And
They co-parent.
you're choosing to enter that. All those women are like, I love having sister wives, but they all are also so like, they will like vehemently deny any like, have you guys ever hooked up or what? No. And again, I like,
He's
this
only
isn't,
in
like-
one bed at a time, is all I'm saying. Okay.
That's so
Ooh.
true.
We don't know what's going on in the other beds.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I don't really think anything, honestly, like most of them give me like asexual vibes. So I don't even know that anything is happening. But I do think that like, how are you going to argue to me that like you wanted to be in a relationship? You wanted to be married to multiple women, and you don't, and it doesn't matter if they're having sex or not. That's not what makes you a lesbian.
No, they're
You
in
know?
love with each other.
Yeah. They are. They're still in touch after, like, they've had wives now that have separated from Cody, and they still stay in touch with the wife and not with Cody.
It
Yeah.
tracks.
Feels
So-
right.
Yeah.
Feels so right. Any other big TLC?
TLC.
Any big other TLC gay shit that you just need to get off your chest before we move into our Q&A?
No, I mean, those are like the main ones. I mean, TLC is like, limited. I don't know exactly who like owns the network and stuff. Like, I feel like Lifetime maybe is part of that. And then we can get into like Dance Moms and like JoJo Siwa. I mean, literally giving us dyke representation from the age of 8 on Dance Moms. So, there's that.
An icon.
I mean, I would be surprised.
Leigh
if-
has strong feelings
Love
about
JoJo Siwa.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
mean, I love JoJo. I fucking love her ass. And I mean, but yeah, would I be surprised if like Chrishell and G-Flip popped up on TLC for a little home reno or a little just like them
Why
going
not?
through the IVF process? No, I wouldn't.
Those reality gays. Too funny. All right.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to head into our Q&A. Are you ready?
Q and gay.
Question number 1. What would you charge to go straight for pay? A, 1,000. B, 10,000. C, 100,000. Or D, 1 million plus.
100,000. You got to make it
Easy-
accessible to
easy
people.
job. Yeah.
Okay. Question 2. What is your TLC comfort show out of A, 90 Day Fiancé, B, Sister Wives, C, Cake Boss, or D, MILF Manor?
Oh, wow. I mean, my clear answer is definitely 90 Day Cake Boss. Wow, that's I wasn't expecting that.
What
That was
is
kinda out of
MILF
left field.
Manor?
I think it's exactly what it sounds
That's a
like.
thing?
Yeah, I think it's like, I want to say it's like mothers and sons going to a bachelor style house, and then they're told when they're there, that they're gonna
Oh, God.
like dating each other, like the young guys
Yeah, like
are like dating each
dating
other's
their
moms. Mm-hmm.
That's
Yeah.
insane. That's
Yeah.
a joke from 30 Rock. There's like a
Mhm.
MILF Island or something.
Yeah. And
it's
they
like a
made it
huge
but
real.
they made it.
They made it real.
That is
Mhm.
not
Yep.
right.
Yeah, because
That is
TLC is a dream maker. They make
They
shit
were like,
happen.
actually, that's a great idea. You're
Yeah.
right. MILF Manor. All right. Well, I have to watch that show now.
You're welcome.
Mhm.
Question number 3. What became your early COVID niche hobby? A, baking bread. B, social media videos. C, learning a new language. Or D, camping.
Oh God, I hate camping. I guess making videos then.
So it counted as a hobby, but yeah.
I don't like to do like work. I don't want to like clean up dishes and shit. It's
You're
fun.
not kneading loaves of bread. That's fair.
No.
Okay.
I go to the cake boss for that.
Question 4. Would you ever
Uh-huh.
marry someone in 3 months? Yes or no?
Yeah, never say never.
You're like, I did actually. Remember that story I told you earlier?
No, I didn't do that, but like, I mean, yeah, what like, what if like you had like a homie who needed to like stay here for like something like an actual emergency, like
You do it.
sometimes you got to get it done.
It's like Will and Grace.
That's exactly right.
Grace marries Will's boyfriend so he can stay.
There you go.
Sometimes
That's
you gotta
called being
be-
an ally.
Exactly. That's a real ally right
Not
there.
Big Ed. Big Ed is not an ally.
All right. Our final question. Question number
Mhm.
5. What is the gayest part of Sister Wives? A, Mary being catfished. B, all being married to each other. Or C, staying in touch after leaving Cody.
Oh God. Honestly, I think staying in touch to me is the gayest part of it.
They
Because
miss
that's
each other.
so voluntary. Yeah, like they miss their connection because they were in a relationship, like two
Because they're
gay women.
exes. Yeah, yeah.
Correct. Yeah.
Exactly. They're like, sorry, I still talk to my ex. I can't not. Incredible.
Yeah.
Remember, listeners, you can give us your own answers to this episode's Q&A questions on our Twitter at Let's Hang Out Pod. Cara, thank you so much. This has been an unhinged delight.
Thanks for having me.
Let our listeners know, where can they find you on all the social media sites, and what do you have coming up?
You can find me on Instagram and TikTok at Cara Connors Comedy. And I mean, I always have like different shows and different things coming up. So keep an eye out.
Amazing. And mostly in LA right now, right?
Yeah, I'm in LA mainly right now. Mhm.
Well, thank you so much. Now I'm like going to log off and start watching 90
Ellie's
Day
queuing up
Fiancé.
MILF Manor
You
as we
better.
speak. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I'm like, oh shit, there's some good TV out there.
Seriously.
Let me hear you say hip, 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 well, yeah.
We love hearing from all of you, and we love continuing to build this community. So we just want to shout out some of our favorite things every episode. And today, listen, I know some of you have seen, because we post them on our socials sometimes.
Oh my God.
Because they just make us laugh, okay?
It brings me so much joy. It's so funny.
So today, we'd like to shout out some of our haters on Facebook. Okay, we'd like to shout out some of the exceedingly angry straights on Facebook, because sometimes they make for great social media posts, and sometimes they give us the gift that this random angry straight man on Facebook gave us in the last few weeks, which is to inspire what I think will be our next t-shirt design, because we just really want to give him credit for the quote of, "Get these fucking freaks off my phone."
Let's hang out. Get these fucking freaks off my phone. Ding.
So if anyone else just really loves that message as much as we fucking loved that message, keep your eyes peeled. We might have a new shirt design coming soon. So
cannot wait.
Shout out to the angry straights, y'all. Really just, keeping our Facebook so fun.
The funniest thing about it is, like, why are we on your page? Like, why?
Listen,
I get it. Like, you want us to get off your phone, but like, the algorithm put us on your phone. So clearly something gay, you've been searching some gay shit and you commented on our shit. So now they're going to be like, top fan, Thomas.
Top fan. You know what? You know what I think? Because here's the thing. Knowing a little bit about how some of the behind the scenes of how your phone works and stuff, right? And like how some of those algorithms work. What I'm choosing to believe is that sometimes when we get the like exceedingly angry straight men who comment on our Facebook posts all the time, like, hey listener, if you're that guy's daughter, like, welcome. Welcome. Right? Because like something in your house, my guy, is making us show up on your feed. Mm-hmm. So I'm just saying, shout out to all of the angry dads out there and their likely gay daughters. We hope you're getting what you need out of the show, okay? Get out of the house soon. We wish the best for you.
We love you, Thomas. Get these fucking freaks off my phone.
Get these fucking freaks off my phone.
Also, on the opposite side, to our lovely patrons, we've had some beautiful Patreon love recently. First of all, Maureen, who posted on our most recent Should Have Been Gay episode on moving on, which was a blast, and said, more Jane and Lily. Yes, please.
Yes.
Jane and Lily, give it to me in my veins and make them gay.
In other news, listeners, I would like to comment on an attack that's been committed against me. But we did get a lot of comments from our Patreon supporters again on a recent blooper. You know what? I hate you, Ellie. And if you just want to enjoy the bloopers that we sometimes share with our patrons, get on over to our Patreon, and you could find out why Ellie hates me. That's all.
And why Leigh is so upset. Because I
can't hate you for it. It was funny.
I exposed her.
It is what it is. Listen.
For a ridiculous faux pas. It was great. As always, I want to thank our Lesbian Jesus patrons, Mark Foster,
Lizette Stye,
Adi Benitez,
Sophia Phillips,
and Armani Gucci.
And our King Princess patrons, Amy and Ellen.
And Andrea Doucette. Thank you so much for all your support. We cannot continue to make the show without you.
Remember, you can find us on all the social medias. We are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok at Let's Hang Out Pod. You can check out our website at letshangoutpod.com. We also have videos going up on our YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe at youtube.com/letshangoutpod to catch those.
Let's Hang Out is an independently produced show hosted by us with audio production by me. Our production assistant is Krista Murison, and Twitter shenanigans by Leigh Holmes Foster.
If you want to help support the podcast, the first, easiest thing you can do is leave us a rating and a review wherever you listen to podcasts. It helps new people find the show.
If you want to support us and join our Patreon family, you can do that at bit.ly/lespatreon. We have all kinds of perks for our patrons, including bonus episodes. We have 15 bonus episodes up there, so we have plenty of content for you all. We have our patron-only Discord chat if you want to hang out with some other listeners. And we have bloopers. You can hear some silly shit that Leigh says, because I'm not going to post my own.
We both say dumb shit. I need to just start
because I'm not going to post my own dumb shit.
You monster.
But if you want to join, you can do that at bit.ly/lespatreon.
If you want to buy some Let's Hang Out merch, you can find all of our designs, including our upcoming Get These Fucking Freaks Off My Phone, at our TeePublic, which you can find at bit.ly/lesshop.
And remember, we have a queer production company making queer podcast musicals with guaranteed happy endings that you can find everywhere at $dollarbeanprod.
You can also check out our website, dollarbeanproductions.com.
You can listen to all the episodes of our first show, The Flame, on any podcasting app.
And if you want to help support us in making more musicals, you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon. We are in the final stretches of Journey to the Heart. It's going to be launching in January. We have been working so hard for so many years on this show. It's such a beast. We're so excited for everyone to hear it. It's going to be an absolute blast. So you can join our Patreon at bit.ly/dollarbeanpatreon. And most importantly, listen to Journey to the Heart when it launches. It comes out on January 22nd. And you're going to want to be following along week by week so that you can vote in the Choose Your Own Adventure episodes that we're going to have along the way. So keep an eye out.
If you want to follow us individually, you can follow me at Ellie Brigida on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok.
You can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at LSH Foster.
With that, I'm Ellie.
And I'm Leigh. And let's hang out again soon.
Let's hang out.
Hi, I'm Laura Cathcart Robbins, and I am the host and creator of the podcast Only One in the Room. Every week, my co-host Scott Slaughter and I invite you to join us and lose yourself in someone's incredible Only One story. We talk to real people dealing with issues like infertility, the death of a loved one, human trafficking, and women who, fake it. Oh, and we want to be fair, so we talk to celebrities too. Emmy winners like actor John Cryer, supermodels like Amber Valletta, and rock stars like Ryan Dusick. Everyone is invited to share their Only One story with our listeners. With 21 seasons and counting, we guarantee you that Only One in the Room has a story that you'll connect with. This podcast is for anyone who has ever felt alone in a room full of people, which is to say that this podcast is for everyone. Download Only One in the Room on Apple or Spotify today.